Hey everyone, welcome back to the English Or. I'm so glad you're here with me today. Grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, because today we're going to talk about something really important. Something that can completely change the way you think about learning, growing, and yes, even making mistakes. The topic is how to turn every mistake into a lesson. When most people make a mistake, the first thing they feel is shame or embarrassment. Maybe you said something wrong in English, or you mispronounced a word, and suddenly your brain goes, "Oh no, that was stupid." And you replay that moment in your head over and over again, wishing you could delete it. I've been there too. Everyone has. But what if I told you that mistakes are not the enemy? What if I told you that mistakes are actually your greatest teachers, if you know how to listen to them? Let me tell you a story. A few years ago, I was learning another language myself, not English, but something completely different. I remember one time I was trying to order food in that language. I was nervous, practicing the sentence in my head again and again before saying it. But when the waiter came, I mixed up two words. Instead of saying, "Can I have some water?" I accidentally said, "Can I have your wife?" The waiter looked shocked. My face turned red, and I wanted the floor to swallow me whole. I laughed nervously, apologized, and corrected myself. Later that night, instead of beating myself up, I looked up those two words again and realized they sounded so similar that anyone could have made that mistake. That moment, embarrassing as it was, made me remember those words forever. I never forgot them again. That's when it hit me that mistakes only become painful when we don't learn from them. But the moment we see them as teachers, they become powerful. You see, every mistake carries a message. It's like a small whisper saying, "Hey, here's something you need to work on." But if you ignore that whisper, or worse, if you judge yourself for it, you miss out on the lesson it was trying to give you. Let's think about this in terms of English. Let's say you're talking to someone and you make a grammar mistake. Maybe you said, "He go to school every day," instead of, "He goes to school every day." If you walk away feeling embarrassed and thinking, "I'm so bad at English," you're letting the mistake win. But if you think, I forgot to add the ses for third person," got it? You've just learned something valuable. You've turned the mistake into a lesson. And next time, that same rule will click in your brain faster. The truth is, the people who become fluent in English aren't the ones who never make mistakes. They're the ones who make more mistakes than everyone else, but keep learning from them. They see each error as part of the process, not proof of failure. You can't improve at anything, not language, not communication, not confidence, without bumping into a few walls along the way. Mistakes are those bumps, reminding you that you're moving, that you're doing something real. I want you to think back too, when you were a child learning your first language. You didn't sit there worrying about grammar or vocabulary. You just spoke. You tried. You said funny things, wrong things, silly things, and people around you probably laughed, but lovingly. And little by little, you learned. That's exactly how learning English works. Adults often forget that learning anything new means looking a little foolish for a while. But that's okay. That's how progress happens. Here's another story. One of my students once told me that she stopped speaking English in public because she made a mistake at work. She said, "I am boring," instead of "I am bored." Everyone laughed, and she felt so humiliated that she avoided speaking English for months. But when we talked about it, I asked her one simple question. "Did you ever make that mistake again?" She said, "No, never." And I smiled and said, "Then it worked." "That mistake was your teacher?" She looked surprised for a moment, and then she laughed a real, relaxed laugh, because she finally understood that the moment she thought was a failure was actually a turning point. You see, the biggest difference between people who grow and people who give up is how they react to mistakes. The ones who grow, they pause, they reflect, and they say, "All right, what can I learn from this?" It's such a simple mindset shift, but it changes everything. The mistake doesn't hurt you anymore, it helps you. And I know it's easier said than done. It's not easy to stay calm when you stumble or say something wrong in front of others. Your heart beats faster. Your face feels hot, and you just want to disappear. But here's the thing, nobody is judging you as harshly as you think. Most people don't even notice small mistakes. And those who do, they've probably made similar ones themselves. Everyone starts somewhere. If you can learn to laugh at your mistakes, you'll grow faster than anyone else. Humor is your best friend in this journey. When you laugh, your brain relaxes and you remember better. Instead of saying, "I can't believe I messed up," try saying, "Wow, that was funny. Okay, let's fix it." That attitude keeps your confidence alive. Because learning with shame is heavy, but learning with curiosity is light. I often think about this quote. Experience is simply the name we give to our mistakes. Isn't that beautiful? Every experience you've had, every wrong word, awkward moment, or failed attempt has been shaping you into who you are. Without those moments, you wouldn't grow. The only real mistake is refusing to learn from one. So, the next time you make an error, slow down and ask yourself, what is this mistake trying to teach me? Maybe it's showing you a weak spot in your grammar, or maybe it's teaching you how to stay calm when things don't go perfectly. Either way, it's a lesson in disguise. I want you to remember this: mistakes are not signs that you're bad at English. They're signs that you're improving. Every time you mess up, it means you're trying. You're doing something brave. You're practicing. You're putting yourself out there. And that's what true learning looks like. So today, as you go out into the world and speak English, don't aim for perfection. Aim for progress. If you make a mistake, smile. Say, "Thank you, mistake. You just taught me something." And then move on. Because the people who keep going, who keep learning, who keep trying, they're the ones who become fluent. They're the ones who win. And that's the real secret, not avoiding mistakes, but mastering the art of learning from them. Thanks for spending this time with me on the English Hour. If this episode helped you see mistakes in a new way, I want you to take that mindset with you every time you speak, read, or write in English. Remember, every mistake is a step forward. You're not failing. You're growing. I'll see you in the next episode. Keep learning, keep speaking, and most importantly, keep turning every mistake into a lesson.